Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Every man needs to ask himself one question, and that one question is, what do I control? Simple. Seriously, that look, I'm gonna tell you something now. Let me share a little bit about me. And I've talked about this on several occasions, and I use the word sovereignty a lot. My goal has always been to exercise control over my life. Well, some people say my also goal is to take over the world. Yeah, I'm getting there. My goal has always had been able to have control or at least leverage over my life. Like I said, I've talked about this on several occasions. I promote being a sovereign man. Now, every single man need to ask himself, what do you really control? Indeed, in my book, Nice Guys and Players, at one point I say every man should have a business he controls, even if he's had got a six-figure job. Even if he got a very good job that he likes and enjoys, he should get something for the mere fact he controls it. Because I'm gonna tell you what, just the very nature of man, we want to control our environment. That's the very nature of masculinity. We want to control our territory. We want to control our boundary. We want to. We want to feel like we have sovereignty. Now, are we going to have ultimate control, like over everything? No, because we're dealing with other people. But at the very least, you want to feel like you have control over your reaction to everything. Indeed, every single man can have 100% control over his own choices. Like for example, you might have to work for somebody else. Well, most of us do. You might have to live in a place you paying rent, or even if you're paying a mortgage, you got some control there, but it's still someone else's home. It's still the bank still owns that place because you paying the bank. And even if you pay it off and everything, you still paying tax on that land. So nobody's going to have a 100% control over, his environment or, in a social setting. But he has 100 control, 100%, 1,000% control over himself. So start there. Start there. That's why I talk about, like, when I talk about body game, there's always the focus on the aesthetic part. And it's very important. It draws women and everything. But just the mere act of even developing a body game develops discipline within a man. And that's one of the main reasons I talk about it. It's not even so much about the working out or even the aesthetic. The main thing is just the discipline to do something. That's a control thing. And then from there, once you have 100% control over your choices, your will, then you expand that. And I've said this, and look, every single man needs to work to have like at least a decent job, at least a job that can allow him to have a space that he has nominal control over. It could be an apartment, definitely a house. Hey, if you can get there, like his own space. He needs to have, if he in a position, which 95% of us are, unless we live in a real big city, we need to have our own vehicle. That's a control thing. We need to have control over how we deal with other people, not just women, but just other men. Are we going to be a follower or are we going to be a leader? Because even now, I prefer dealing with men who are not followers. Seriously, I really prefer for it. That's why, like, even the people who support me on this channel, if y'all think about it, how often do I say the word follower? Almost never. And if I do say it every now and then, it's a slip. I'm misspeaking. I always say supporters. Reason why I say supporters is because I know someone is making the choice to support me. I appreciate supporters. Like, I support some stuff, but I don't follow it. You know what I'm saying? The difference is a follower sounds like just somebody under someone else's control. A supporter means they voluntarily support you. So even the people who support me is because they make the choice to do so of their own free will. And that's why I appreciate all my supporters. Shout yourselves out. So you got, but the thing is, every man needs to think about, seriously, sit back and think about it. Sit back, especially in this new year. Think about, what do you have control over? What do you have sovereignty over? You need to have sovereignty over something. And that is like, the base is yourself, but then it's like, okay, I got this skill. That, like, your body of knowledge. Because I've talked about that before, and I probably need to like stay on that. It's a spiritual thing when a man develops a body of knowledge that he is an expert of. Every man need to be master of some knowledge, something, and you know, or skill or something. Every single man, ain't no exceptions. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. I don't even care what you can be on the spectrum. You need to have something that you can control. You know, something that you master, that you have sovereignty over, that you say, you know what, I got this. You can speak with confidence and you can teach it. That's a control thing, you know? And then you just want to expand it. Like, I mean, look, let's be real. Like, there's always this talk about high value men and everything. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to just say, because I ain't really addressed the issue. My feeling is, yeah, you want to make all that money. You want to make 6 figures, 7 figures. You want to do all that, but not for women. You want to do it to control your life. Seriously, no pun intended, but screw the women. Screw everybody else around you. You want to make that money for yourself. For yourself. When I make my money, shoot, I don't spend money on women. The most I do, if I go someplace and eat and they with me, I'll pay for them. If me and her cool, I'll pay for them because it's my choice. But not because she said, well, you got to take. No, it was like, oh, I guess we ain't going there. But even then, right? Even then, it's not about that. It's about, hey, you know, I'm being nice. But that's my control. And even then, most of the time, I'm not even doing that. A woman got to earn that much from me, but that's my sovereignty. Most of my money, though, goes to what I want. Even like taking my sons, like I always joke that my sons are my pimps, but that's my control. Even then, like I'm not married. I am not married. I went through a divorce and everything. You get a lot of people talking about child support and stuff. I don't pay child support. Let me say that again. I legally don't pay child support. The courts ain't involved in it. The support I give my sons and also my co-parent for taking care properly of my sons is based on my will, what I want to give, not somebody else. No legal body has control over that. No legal body has sovereignty over that. I have control. What I want to give, what I want to take care of. That's sovereignty. You know? And that's what every single man wants to. You want to be free. Now, ultimately, I'm going to be real. Ultimately, I say every man should have his own business. But realistically, that's not going to happen. Okay. That's cool. That's cool right there. But you want to have still as much sovereignty control. Even if, like, okay, even if you want a job, you're working for somebody else, you need to work to get into a position where you got leverage. The last full-time job I was on, I worked myself into a position where I had leverage. It was still a sovereignty. There were times I tell them what I want to do. I tell them, I say, okay, yeah, I'll be working on this, and this today. Boom. All right. So that's the question. Every single man, there's no exception. Say, what do I have control over? Start with yourself and then gradually expand it. Okay. Seriously. And let me be abundantly clear. You ain't doing this for women. And you ain't doing this because your minister or your family say so. You ain't doing this for no one else but yourself. All right? Remember that. You're doing it for yourself. You ain't doing it to please anybody. You doing it for yourself. Keep that in mind. All right? So that's all I got for today, y'all. Peace and blessings.